Good morning. When my father died, almost 8 years ago now, he didn't leave behind much stuff. He was a simple guy, and we have loads and loads of memories that he left behind with us, but not many things. And when we were helping my mom kind of sort through his belongings after his death, we came upon this little treasure box. He loved to save little mementos, things that reminded him of times in his life that he'd never wanted to forget. And at the bottom of one of those that box was a small envelope that contained his dog tags from when he served. And I know you're not supposed to, but I separated the two tags and gave one to my sister and kept one for myself, and I see it every day, and of course remember him and think of him and remember his presence in my life. My dad served with the Army Corps of Engineers. He was a young man, a new immigrant, a brand new soldier, sent back almost near his home of origin to help restore Western Europe after the war. It's an amazing gift of a generous country. We helped restore these countries that had absolutely no ability to do so themselves. They'd been decimated by the war. How do you restore a country? How do people go in and restore a broken system, a broken land? It's with ingenuity, passion, zeal, lots of energy, and in some cases you find new ways to rebuild old familiar things. And in many ways you build brand new things that never existed before. How do we restore a person? How do we restore a spirit? In many ways it's the same. We bring old things back to life, or we bring things into birth and into being that never were before. We are at a very difficult time in our country right now. We have just passed the 150,000 person mark of Americans who have died because of COVID. Now, just a few months ago, we were talking about the 100,000 mark. And here we are marking 50,000 more deaths. There is immense grief in the soul of our people. Our country is weighed down. There is unrest, protest, anger in the streets still. There are politicians on both sides waging an angry war of words, and we are in the middle. We are in desperate need of restoration. Not necessarily going back to the way things were, because that's not possible. But we definitely need new life. We need a change. We cannot continue to go on in the way we are without a toll taking permanent cost, a permanent damage. We're better than this. There is so much that's being laid before us, asking for restoration, for help, for change. And we may think to ourselves, we're helpless. We see this happening, and all it does is create turmoil and distress in our own lives. But I guess we could ask ourselves, does the buck stop with me? How am I contributing either to the distress or to the restoration? Am I careful about what I say, the words I use, the positions I take? With family members, or on social media, or in conversation, in writing? Is what I say, does it need to be said at all? Does it contribute anything of goodness and of benefit? If not, perhaps it's worth weighing. Am I contributing to the restoration? Restoration takes discipline, dedication. Ultimately, it takes love. It takes a selfless nature, a heart that is willing to remain open instead of shielded. one that is willing to contribute to the healing. Is there someone in your life, some relationship in your life that needs restoring, that needs restoration, that needs healing? This is the time. Don't wait. We are not promised tomorrow. We're promised today. Let's use this day building up our fellow man and trusting the goodness in our own hearts and in our own hands to be vehicles of that restoration.